Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maureen O'Connor from Quilters Heaven in Northbrook, Illinois, and I am the Opinionated Quilter. Today's episode, number 157, is The World Without End Block. But before we get to that, I have a word of caution for you on product reviews online. I was watching a video comparing sewing machines. It was the top 5 sewing machines. And whenever I'm looking at anything that's encouraging you to purchase a product, I always think about what's the quality of the information. Is it really good information? And as I was watching this video, my first clue was that there were just pictures of machines and a voice talking. You never saw a person. And soon he was talking about heirloom stitches. And then he mentioned sewing with chiffon. And then he referred to us people who use sewing machines as sewers. It became very clear to me that this was entirely AI generated. And I am sure that the AI did not test chiffon fabric or any other fabric. So a word of caution is trust who you're getting your product information and recommendations from. Know who they are and trust them. Next, another video I watched streamlined my coin collecting quilt. Who was it? Die from Sister Chicks, of course. Another great video of hers. We will put a link in the description box. She took strips and just sewed them together and sewed them together. And she made several really good points in this video. One is sometimes we don't want to have to think. We just want to sit and sew. That happens to me often after I've had a long day at work. Now in my quilt, all of these are cut 1.5 inches to finish to 1 inch. So to get these blocks accurate, you have to think, press, and measure. What I did by not carrying the width of the strips and pressing at the end, which I normally don't recommend, but for this technique it really works, it speeds up the process. And when you're trying to get scraps out of your scrap heap, speed is a really nice thing to have. Another thing in her video is she gives you 4 different ways to use the strips. So you're not going to get bored. You're not doing the same thing over and over and over again. Once you make your strips, you can use them in whatever way you want. And the last important point that I think she made is saying buy your background fabrics when they're on sale. You've heard me say a bunch of times, don't buy anything without a purpose. This is the exception to the rule. You may not know what particular scrap project that this background fabric will go into, but you know it will be used to help you use your scraps. So that's a perfect time when they're on sale. You can get background fabrics, solid fabrics, tone-on tones, anything that will help use your scraps. So it's a really good video. I highly encourage you to watch it. Now, let's get to the episode. A viewer asked about the World Without End Block. She wanted to know if there was a better way to make it. She had seen foundation paper pieced patterns, and she was wondering if there was a Deb Tucker way to make it. Well, I didn't know the World Without End Block at all, so what do? We go to our Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns, and I looked it up. Then I Googled World Without End Block, and one of the first ones that came up was this one, which is from Marty Michelle. Well, this is not what's in the Encyclopedia of Quilt Block Patterns. This is what's pictured there. And this is from Ginny Byer. Well, I'm looking at this and saying, how not fun to piece this. It's a square with the square, and then you sew these 4 on, and then you Y-seam in these. But it isn't foundation paper pieced. It is just regular pieced. This picture also came up on the World Without End block. And if you look at this is a V block. Well, this triangle is not the same degree triangle as this. This is much narrower. Now, if you like this block, make it. It'd be very easy. 4 V blocks around the center. And if I was doing that, I would probably cut this in half and do 2 pieces here to make it easier. But you could Y-seam it. But this is not what the picture in the Encyclopedia of the World Without End block is. I was trying to see if I could make it work using the V block. And instead of, when you piece the V block, you have the 2 narrow triangles at the wide center triangle end and vice versa up here. And I thought, well, what if I put the narrow ends so they both come to the point here? Well, I was able to sew it together. This would be half a block. But I didn't pursue it because just what I set up here. This triangle is the same as this triangle, and this wider angle, bigger angle triangle is never going to be the smaller angle triangle. And as far as I know, I've not seen anything in the Deb Tucker tools that will do this. And I think, you know, there's so many different angles. We've talked about that before, how many different ways you can divide 360 degrees, that there wouldn't be enough blocks to make enough uses for a this angle triangle to make it worthwhile to have a tool. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's just my thought. I also found a picture of foundation paper piecing, and this certainly would be easy, but what the foundation paper piecing does, it makes the center square 4 different pieces. So if you want something that's a continuous square, 4 different triangles to make up the square is not going to work for you. If I were to choose how to do it, if I was going to do it, I would use Ginny Byer's method, which is just regular traditional piecing. And on her website, she has the templates, just easily downloadable. She actually gives you 3 sizes. There's a 6-inch block, a 10-inch block, and a 12-inch block. And I'm not a big using patterns like this, templates to cut out the pieces. So I'm guessing that this block is not in my very near future. But if I was going to do it, this is the way that I would do it. So now let's get to the winner of the giveaway. The winner of the various fabrics is Rena Leupold 6789. So that's RENALUPOLD 6789. Please email your mailing address to my email, quiltersheaveninc@gmail.com, and I will get that package of fabric right out to you. This week's giveaway, I put together some fabrics, and I just think they're beautiful. They're good-sized pieces. One is marked a yard. I don't know how much the other ones are, but they're awfully pretty, and they really can go together. But if you can use these fabrics and make something fabulous, please enter to win. You all know how to do it. You first want to like my video. you want to comment on my video, and you want to subscribe to my channel. And in the comment, I'm looking for beautiful brights. You all have made me laugh with how you use the title of the giveaway in your comments. So continue to be clever. I really enjoy reading them all. And please keep sending questions. I'm always looking to redo patterns, redo blocks in better ways. I especially enjoy that, but all questions are welcome. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, happy sewing.